most powerful kind of magic, mysticism, law of attraction, affirmation, whatever it may be. Manifesting tool. What is the most powerful? The most powerful one is the one that you are going to do consistently. If you took pound for pound success rate of hardcore occult practitioners and more of the law of attraction, positive mindset kind of crowd, while I don't have a schematic or statistic for you, you can look around. You can find that there's more than likely higher success rate with law of attraction people, positive thinkers, people that use positive affirmations, more of the psychological based esoteric practices, more so than people who pop open grimoires. Now, why is this? Probably number one reason is because more hardcore occult practitioners are rarer. Okay. But then if we kind of take a guesstimation of the roster of hardcore occult practitioners, there are many of them that would not fall into the realm of success. But there are plenty of the more superficial styles of manifesting, like law of attraction, that are highly successful in many regards. So much to the point that it's cringy. Like, I mean, hardcore occult people look at like a lot of these law of attraction people as very cringy, as if they don't even know what they're doing. Oftentimes, like, yeah, the deeper things that they don't know what they're doing. But they are reaping a lot of success. They are happy. They're probably good karmically, and what I mean by that is not necessarily a hardcore karmic debt. I mean that wherever they go after this, I think they're going to be pretty good. There's nothing really weighing them down. So occultists are a minority. The second reason why they maybe seem more successful is because what they do is easier. They don't have to have big elaborate ritual things, ritual operations. Whereas, positive affirmations just need a piece of paper. But how does that compare to summoning like the Lord of all draconian evil or the or the Tetragrammaton or something like that? The real answer is consistency. People that are on the affirmation boat are much more consistent. It also conjures a form of focus that they're not just consistent, but they're consistently going in a specified direction, which would probably lead to more success. Whereas most occultists are kind of like spread all over the place because they'll go with this spirit, and sometimes they'll, just like a kid in a candy store, want to go to that spirit, or they'll go to this spirit, don't think it was a success, so they'll go to another spirit or another like grimoire, another magical system, something like that, right? So it's a lot of unfocusedness. However, the question begins like, well, what if you actually want to do this occult stuff but reap some results? And that is, you got to kind of make it your new normal. You have to begin to really see the connections of like these greater personified energies known as spirits in your everyday life, which you can do it. There is a trade-off to it, though, and it may sound kind of cinematically cliche, but you're kind of never going to see the world the same again. I don't want it to seem like it's like this whoa whoosh thing. It can be, but it's more so like you just get further and further and further every day from conventional thought of how the world is. And it doesn't mean like you start believing in all these conspiracies and stuff. It just means like the mechanics in which the world are revolving around become much more personified, or they become more tangible. The intangibles of life become more tangible. Whereas the law of attraction people they can kind of navigate those pathways without even knowing what they're all about. The most successful one is probably Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins fashions a form of LOA or positive thinking that leads to greater mental magic, like a mental focus that easily manifests in worldly habits, better planning and whatnot, better discipline. So those things, because they are more worldly, they are much more consistent. That is why law of attraction is very successful, because it's dealing with a form of magic, if you will, that is closer to our plane of existence. Whereas the doing something more spirit-based is in a way slightly farther, but it takes a lot more typically for an individual to tap into those things. Now, the manifestations can be absolutely phenomenal, but it's kind of a harder thing to do. So this is why the LOA works. This is why positive affirmations work. This is why really like the first 5 degrees of every order, classical styled order, is very much based upon monitoring your own thoughts. It's based upon mindset. Those elemental grades are simply just reflections of the habits that you do. That is where the occult and esoteric really begin all around us, is by these very simple things. That's why most people, which are not adepts, reap the most benefits, is through the basics. I believe even Joe March made a video not too long ago about like why he left the occult and like what he believes now. And this is what he's talking about this. And I don't agree with his disenchanted view of the universe per se. But what he's saying is very true about how the basics lead to the most results, because they are the most consistent. It is like the jab in fighting or in boxing or in kickboxing. If you don't, because the jab is going to be the weapon of choice that you will be able to put the most volume out with. So it is really the backbone of your entire practice. So managing your thoughts is the most voluminous weapon that you have in your arsenal. Affirmations help you put your thoughts onto paper, a more tangible experience for this reality. Helps you prioritize thoughts better, controlling your thoughts through affirmations, through subliminal messaging, hypnosis. They're all ways to organize your thoughts to funnel them towards specific goals, to be more disciplined. So that is why LOA, that is why positive affirmations really, I think per capita, if you will, at least right now, is the most successful form of esotericism. May that serve you well.